Assalamu alaikum dear students and a very good morning to all of you. Hope all of you are doing great. So kids, welcome to the class again. I am your social studies teacher and my name is Nida Sahar. So kids, today we are going to start our new chapter, chapter 5, our past. This chapter is going to be very interesting. The main points which we are going to discuss in today's lecture include ancient sites of Pakistan, the Indus Valley civilization, in which we are going to discuss about the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. We are also going to talk about the Aryans. So let's get started. Okay, on page number 71, there is your chapter Our Past. I have highlighted the main points and I am also going to read out the chapter. So let's start. There are many ancient sites all over Pakistan, the most famous being Mohenjo-daro, Harappa and Taxila. In more recent years, archaeologists have found an older site at Mehergarh in Balochistan and other sites at Rahman Deri near Dera Ismail Khan and at Kot Dichi, to name a few. All these sites tell us that a number of different people lived here in the past. So kids, in these ancient sites, we are going to talk about the most famous Indus Valley civilization. Historians tell us that there was an advanced civilization around the plains of the river Indus in about 2600 BC. That is a long time ago. It is the Indus Valley civilization, and the people were really ahead for that time. So kids, as the name of the chapter indicates, our past, in which we are going to talk about the history. We are going to talk about the ancient sites and ancient people, how they used to live, what was their culture. Ancient means old. So the main ancient or old sites in Pakistan are Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Taxila, Mehergarh and Rahman Deri. Indus Valley civilization. So kids, what is an Indus Valley civilization and why it has great archaeological importance and why it is considered as an advanced civilization? So it is the civilization around the plains of the river Indus in about 2600 BC. This civilization is called Indus Valley civilization because it is located at the plains of the river Indus. It is located, the Indus Valley civilization was ancient civilization located in what is Pakistan and northwest India today, on the fertile plains of the Indus River. Why it is considered as an advanced civilization? Because the historians and archaeologists have found the materials and objects in the ruins of these plains at these sites. They have found that they used wheels, they made pots, and the people there were very talented. They made tools from the metals. They also made cloth. They have well developed city, highly developed city life. They have well paved streets. Many houses had wells and bathrooms as well as, and they have a elaborate underground drainage system. So that's why this civilization is called Indus Valley civilization, because the people were really ahead for that time. right? So kids, who are archaeologists? People who study prehistoric people and their culture are called archaeologists. Archaeologists are the person who study about the history and the culture of the people who used to live in the past. They also examine the materials or things that have been found from the ancient sites. So here again on page 71, I'm going to read the highlighted points. Harappa, there are two main ancient sites of Indus Valley civilization, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Harappa is located in Punjab and Mohenjo-daro is located in Sindh. Mohenjo-daro means mound of the dead. Here you can see the ruins of great Indus Valley civilization. No one is quite sure what happened to the people who lived in these places. But today in Mohenjo-daro we can still see the remains of houses, temples, baths, a granary and streets with a proper drainage system. So kids, what does Mohenjo-daro mean? Mohenjo-daro means the mound of the dead. Mohenjo-daro is an archaeological site in the province of Sindh, Pakistan. It was built around 2500 BC. It was one of the largest settlements of the ancient Indus Valley civilization. The people who used to live here were really ahead for that time, as I have mentioned earlier, because it was a planned city. It was a proper planned city, because in Mohenjo-daro we can still see the remains of houses, temples, baths, granary, and the streets, proper paved streets with a drainage system. We can still find the remains of the sites over there. So they were very advanced for that time, and historians and archaeologists have found the pieces of pottery, ornaments, seals, clay figures, and many other things from there, sculptures. So the people who used to live there were very talented and artistic. Now on page 72, archaeologists have found pieces of pottery, ornaments, jewelry, clay figures, and seals at these sites. The seals have inscriptions and symbols on them, and historians are still trying to work out what these mean. The people of this civilization traded with neighboring regions. Fragments of cotton cloth made here have been found in the ancient historical sites of present day Iraq. So kids, as I have mentioned earlier, that the people who used to live in Indus Valley civilization were very talented and artistic, because archaeologists have found pieces of pottery, ornaments, jewelry, clay figures, and seals at these sites. Here I am going to show you some pictures. You can see the beautiful ornaments they used to make and they used to wear. See how beautiful they are. And here are some of the clay figures they used to make, and this is the beautiful sculpture the archaeologists have found in the ruins of Mohenjo-daro. And this is the most famous dancing girl, the sculpture of dancing girl that has been found in Mohenjo-daro. And here is the cubical dice that has been excavated from Mohenjo-daro. So kids, these pictures show, these piece of art show that how talented those people were. And here you can see how their Streets were well paved and there were proper drainage system. As you can see in the picture, they were existing long time ago, but still they look like this. So they used to have proper streets and well drainage and sewage system. And here you can see the seals that have inscriptions, means something carved on the surface, and symbols on them. And kids, do you know that historians are still trying to find out what they mean? Still we don't know what language is this, what is written on in them. So still historians are trying to figure it out, what does these seals mean. Okay, now on page 72 we are going to talk about the Aryans. As a year passed, other people came to this area. The first were the Aryans, a large tribe from Central Asia who came into the subcontinent from the northwest around 1500 BC. They used horses and chariots to travel fast. They brought a new language, Sanskrit, and a new culture with them. The Aryans settled in the Indus Valley and then spread to the other parts of the subcontinent. The Aryans were a strong, active, and lively race. Over the next few centuries, many kingdoms were formed, great battles were fought, cities were built, destroyed by the invaders, and then rebuilt. Some, like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, were forgotten. Kids, what reasons could there be for the decline of the Indus Valley civilization? So kids, now we are going to talk about the Aryans. Kids, as we are talking about the Indus Valley civilization, it is still a mystery that how it ended. Some historians assume that it was a natural disaster that ended the civilization. Some assume that there were other invaders who came into these areas and who killed all the people. So apparently the Indus Valley civilization was likely destroyed by the migrants from Iran, the Aryans. As the year passed, other people came to this area. The first were the Aryans who came into the subcontinent in this region. So who were Aryans? A large tribe from Central Asia who came in the subcontinent from the northwest Iran around 1500 BC. They were a very strong, active, and lively race. As they were warrior nomads, they used horses and chariots to travel fast. As you can see in the picture, they were very strong and active people. They used horses and chariots to travel. So kids, Aryans brought a new language which is known as Sanskrit. Sanskrit is regarded as the ancient language in Hinduism, as Aryans were Hindus, where it was used as a means of communication. Sanskrit is also widely used in Jainism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. Sanskrit is the world's oldest language, which is still a widely spoken language. Sanskrit is the oldest language in the world but fell out one of the common usage around 600 BC. So kids, here you can see the written form of Sanskrit, right? So who were the first who brought up this language? Aryans were the people who brought this new language called Sanskrit. Okay kids, let's watch an interesting documentary about Mohenjo-daro. Hope you are going to like it.
The ancient city of Mohenjo-daro is one of the first urban centers in human history. Nestled in southern Pakistan's Indus River Valley, Mohenjo-daro is the largest and best preserved city of the Indus civilization, the earliest known civilization of the Indian subcontinent. Mohenjo-daro was built around 2500 BC, about the same time the Great Pyramids were being built in Egypt, and it spanned a surface area of nearly 500 acres, an incredible size for a city of this time period. Because of Mohenjo-daro's grand scale, archaeologists believe it may have served as a seat of power for the Indus civilization. The city was divided into two districts, the Citadel and the Lower Town. The Citadel is home to the city's exceptional monuments, including the Great Bath, a 900 square foot tank fed from the Indus River. Mohenjo-daro also had a sophisticated water system. Houses had baths and toilets, and the town featured both an elaborate sewage system and fresh water in 700 wells throughout the city. The Roman baths, some of history's most famous waterway systems, weren't constructed until many hundreds of years after Mohenjo-daro's Great Bath. Mohenjo-daro has no places of worship or governance, such as palaces, royal tombs, or temples. This may indicate that the society was not built around state interests like the Egyptian and Mesopotamian societies at the time. Rather, the class structure of Mohenjo-daro may have been relatively equal. The city's second district, the Lower Town, may demonstrate the society's egalitarian structure. The Lower Town, with its intricate water system, was home to between 20,000 to 40,000 people. Unlike many urban areas of its time, it was laid out in a grid system similar to modern-day city blocks. After approximately 600 years, the city collapsed. No one is quite sure why, but the cause could potentially have been a change within the culture, or in the path of the river. Without its crucial source of water, the city's residents may have moved away, leaving Mohenjo-daro nearly abandoned. In 1911, nearly 4,000 years after the city fell into ruin, archaeologists paid their first visit. The ensuing decades of excavations have unearthed countless clues that tell the tale of Mohenjo-daro, but it still holds secrets for us to discover.
Okay kids, now it's your turn. You are going to read the chapter from page 71 till 72 thoroughly, and you have to underline the main points. And I'm sure after watching this video you would be able to tell. Can you name some ancient sites found in Pakistan? What does Mohenjo-daro mean? Who were the Aryans? How do we know that Indus Valley civilization was advanced for its time? And where is Harappa located? So kids, that is all for the today's lecture, and I'm sure everything is well understood. In the next class, I'm going to discuss the remaining part of the chapter, and I'm going to discuss book exercises with you. Till then, all of you stay home, stay safe and study hard. Take care and Allah Hafiz.